what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Kollin, MikeKollin.com.
And this is Abenev with Abenev.com.
So it's MikeKollin.com. If you haven't bought my book, Crack Female Code, get it now, guys. Ladies, buy the book, Why Men Just Don't Get It. Brand new website. I don't think I mentioned this in the last video, so I'll mention it super quick. I have been working my ass off. Brand new website. If you haven't seen it, it's a beautiful website. I got a new web designer, professional, have it professionally done. We're doing all this stuff. The events are almost up, so we're rocking and rolling right now. And I've also been on Instagram a lot more than YouTube. In fact, YouTube, I haven't paid attention. Got this new wall built, got this new artwork, which I really like personally. So we're going to talk about one of the changes that happened in Benev's life. Was a therapeutic session we did. It was a huge shift. I haven't even told him which one. Do you remember the black energy?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we were sitting down just casually talking about something, and I was really grounded, and I was energetically just what I call being just wide, and I mean wide. And we were talking, and I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, and I was like, oh wait, I see something. So go ahead.
It was about my sister. How she was going so fast and
in life,
so far in life, and I felt like I wasn't.
Yeah. So his sister, I think at this point was a junior or senior in college.
She was a junior, I think.
And I believe she was in Europe.
She was.
And she was having her life was just boom, 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 boom. She's getting through college. She's going to Europe. She's doing this. And I don't remember if it was you. Might have been so. Was she part of a business doing an internship or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she got the internship. She went to Europe. And Ben was like, I don't get it, And your sister's younger than you, right?
2 years younger.
Yeah. So Ben was like, why isn't this happening to me? What's going on? A lot of times we get stuck, and we don't know why. Like I'm smarter than this guy. I got better grades. Why is he just going right past me? There's a lot of different reasons, and we're going to talk about one thing we did with the benefit. So as you were talking about it, I saw something. And I don't know how to say like I saw it. It's more like an energetic thing. It's like, oh shit, it's right there. It's like, got it. But I think I got it because his energy was ready to heal at that time. Does that make sense now that you look back? Or if it doesn't, that's fine.
Yeah.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was I noticed... How do I say this? Okay, this is how to say it. Abenev was disconnected from himself. Would you say there's some truth to that?
Yeah, a lot of truth.
A lot disconnected.
Yeah.
And you had that question mark thing going on. Where am I?
Probably had like 2 or 3 question mark things going on because I felt so alienated from myself. Like I would sometimes, it was so bad that sometimes I would be walking down the street and end up somewhere completely where I didn't want to be and just be like, how the hell did I get here?
Right, dissociated. So one thing I'd like to say about therapy is you might have a couple issues or layers of issues before you get to the core issue. Now, we worked with things with the benefit here, and then there, and then when we got to it, it came out. It was like, oh, there it is. See, a lot of times, like, I want to get rid of this. I don't want to be this way. I don't want to be afraid to approach women. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to find out, well, why are you afraid? Well, what's causing this? And then we cleared one thing. Remember the timeline therapy thing we did?
Yep.
And you were spinning?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yeah. And
yeah, I remember
that. And I'm waiting for him because intuitively, call it energetically, whatever it is, because every time we do a therapeutic intervention, I have no idea what it's going on. And I've never been into India. I've never been in his life. And I'm like, oh, he needs to let go. Like, I just knew. And I'm kind of grinning, but his eyes were closed, and we're doing this timeline therapy thing, and it's like I'm spinning around the room, right?
Yeah.
It's going faster.
Yeah, it's like I was caught up in a hurricane or a tornado.
And were you trying to hold on?
Yeah, even though I was just sitting on his couch, I felt like I was just spinning circles.
Right, but do you see how your life, that was the way your life was?
Yeah.
Now, in the therapeutic session, when you were spinning, what happened when you tried to hold on tighter?
It got worse.
It went faster.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the thing that's, especially for men, that's really hard to understand until you do it enough times. You go, oh. And then I finally, when's he going to figure it out? Because I really like for my clients to figure it out on their own, but it was getting real bad. He's Mike, what do I do?
I was like, I
Well,
was pretty much yelling at him. Like I was like, dude, help me. Yeah, like so it must have been a pretty funny sight because I was sitting on the couch with my eyes closed and just yelling at him, dude, help me, dude.
well, we can laugh now, but back then, was it funny or was it scary?
It was pretty scary.
It was really scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I kind of started getting caught up with the fear, but I knew that look, he's safe. He's on the couch, gonna be fine. But I kind of like, and I had to kind of pull myself out. So finally, I waited. I'm like, come on, man, you'll get it, you'll get it. I didn't say that, but I'm thinking it in my head, and I was like, all right, let go. He goes, what? I go, let go. He's like, yeah. I went, Bennett, you're gonna have to have some faith here. Let go. What happens when you let go?
The tornado slowed down completely, and I mellowed out.
It completely stopped, didn't you?
Mm.
Did you feel a lot calmer?
Yeah.
Like totally calm.
Totally calm.
Now, that had something to do with an issue in the past, and we're not going to go with that right now. But do you see how when you try to control things, and you try to force, and try to make a woman like you, try to use a technique and open her line on her to get her attracted to you, do you see how that causes the anxiety and the fear?
Yes.
Because you're trying to control it.
Mm-hmm. One of the things when you taught me those are the techniques like being internal and grounded and all that stuff. Do you remember how hard I was trying at those techniques?
And I said, don't try.
Yeah. One of the reasons I kind of started to get a handle on them was because I stopped trying. I was literally just like, fuck it, whatever. Because whenever I tried them, it was hard. Like it was really hard to do the techniques, and they would just cause more anxiety.
Because you can't do the techniques by doing them, by controlling them. It's literally like putting the brakes on in a car.
Yeah.
And you're not going anywhere. Why isn't it working, Mike? Because you got your foot on the fucking brake, dude. Let go of the brake. And you're like, but it's not working. I'm like, Bennett, do you want to go somewhere? Do you want to get through this? Do you want to get more out of life? Do you want to make more money? Do you want to get the girl? Well, yeah. Well, you're gonna have to let go, and you're gonna have to actually drive the car around.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm afraid to. You don't have to go fast. Just go 5 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour if you want. You get a little more comfortable driving, go 5 miles an hour. Now, when you learn to let go, would you say that everything in life has gotten easier?
Yes. And by everything, he means everything. Like there's nothing that there's pretty much nothing in my life that isn't touched by what I've learned from him.
Right.
But there is one thing though, like it's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. I tried pushing it for a long time, like I gotta let go. It doesn't happen that way. It'll happen when it's supposed to. So.
Do you remember when I said I grabbed a bottle, used the cork, and I said, "This is my entire course right here, and especially the techniques we're doing to let go." I go, "Here it is. Ready? Let go." I go, "The reason why you're not opening up is because you're trying, which means you're pushing the door closed and you're holding it."
Yeah.
Now, at the time, I want to bring this up. Did a lot of the concepts that I taught you back then, like self-love, we'll talk about that in a second, did they seem really weird? Or did they seem like it doesn't make sense? Or it's not working?
Well, all of the above, actually, because they didn't make sense. And because of that, they didn't work. And it's like I thought the biggest thing for me was the biggest hurdle was that I thought that I understood them. And for whatever reason, they just were not working. That was my biggest hang-up.
Right.
I really thought like I understood the internal awareness, letting go, and self-love, and this and that, but it just wasn't happening.
Why? What were you doing? You said the word.
Because I was pushing it.
And thinking is pushing.
Mm.
So do you understand my course by thinking, by male brain thinking?
Yep.
No.
I understand that that's not how you do it.
Okay, yeah. So I actually said, do you? And you said, yep. So what you're saying is that's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So my course is not understood through thinking about it. It's understood by letting go of thinking. Now, that's a weird... Most men are like, what the... This guy's fucking nuts. What you talking about? And didn't it seem like that at times? Like, what? Did it make any sense?
Well, I was willing to hear and believe everything you said, but it's like to guys that's so abnormal. You're
even
like,
to you,
what the fuck?
Especially to you, because you used to be Mr. Thinker.
Yeah. You just like, what the fuck does that mean?
Your thinking, guys, is getting in your way. Do you see that now?
Yes.
You know why I know that he sees that? Because when and I think I mentioned in the last video, but we bumped into each other. We haven't talked for a year, and we went to the same restaurant. Just, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? And I looked at it like, I go, wow, you really changed. And he's like, yep, because I'm finally doing what you taught me now because I get it now. And it's obvious. It's so obvious. Proud of yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, life is good, man. Again, I'm not a master at this or anything, but I'm getting the hang of it.
Go ahead.
I feel like I've just started to get the hang of this, and it's making my life awesome. It's making my life awesome.
Let's talk about the black energy because we didn't actually finish that.
Okay.
So, we were talking, and he brought up his sister. Why is she moving forward, and why am I stuck? Like, I don't get it. You know, I'm a good person. I'm smart. I'm this. I'm that. And as we were walking through it, I don't remember. Again, it was a while ago, but all of a sudden, like, oh, he's just totally disconnected from himself. My whole course is about connecting you, the I, with the am. I am. Most men are I question mark out here. A lot of people are. Some women are too. You want to be open and you want to connect internally, and this is how you have that flow. So he was not connected. Not only was he not connected, but there was a part of you that you were pushing out. No, and it was trying to come back in, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And so I go, "What's it doing?" Because it's an experience thing. It's an intuitive thing. I'm like, that thing's trying to get in, and it's like you just see. It's like you were flexing, like you were tightening your muscles. Like, nope, you can't come in, right? And I'm not going to explain all the techniques that I did to open myself up to get him to open up. See, that's the thing right there. I know in order for him to open up, I have to be open. Same thing with a girl. If you want a girl to open up to you, you have to open up to you.
Yes.
So what I did was I had completely wide open, and that's one thing that allows me to see what's going on with their energy, their body language, their tonality, the way they talk. Remember, do you see the difference between? Can you hear the difference between your voice now and the way it used to be?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
It's a lot deeper. It's a little bit lower in my stomach. Before I could only speak from here. It felt like my voice was just stuck. Now it's a little bit lower in my chest.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is that I'm actually paying attention to my voice more.
Right. So are you forcing it or are you just noticing it?
I'm just noticing it.
And that allows it to drop down, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So trying to control this stuff doesn't work, guys. And now here's the thing. When you talk to women now, it's like, do women almost walk up to you? Are you more approachable now? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes. And they have. A few of them have just walked straight up to me. They never tell you the direct way, but, you know, it's always some excuse. But guys and girls.
They find an excuse to open up a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's guys and girls. It's, you know, dudes, girls, old, young. You're just more.
People in general, they'll find. See, here's what's going on. So we're shifting you from being external. Everyone's like this. Everyone out there's like that, most. But when you become internal, people are like, whoa, something's different here. And they don't know what it is.
Yes.
And that it doesn't matter whether it's a guy, a girl, rich, poor, left, right, up, down. They're just like, hey. And they want to talk to you, but they don't even know why they want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know, there's something different about you, but they don't know what the fuck it is.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it is being internal. The other part is being comfortable with yourself. What do you think?
I would say yes.
All right, so I'm going to finish this up, and we're going to get into the self-love and that, and how working on your own stuff allows women and people in general to feel comfortable with you and want to talk to you. So when we worked on that energy, I said, well, why won't you let it in? Do you remember what you said?
I said it was evil.
And I said, why do you think it's evil? What about it's evil? And you said?
Because it's black.
It's black. So I'm like, that doesn't necessarily mean it's evil. It's just its color.
Black is my color now.
Yes, it is. It's funny. You're wearing black now.
Yeah.
And so then when I forget what I said. I'm not going to go into detail. I reframed it. And while staying wide, which is another technique. And then I said, what would happen if you let it in? And you just...
Mm-hmm.
So when you realize that... See, a lot of people think white or black is good or evil. That's not necessarily true at all. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's an unconscious representation a lot of people have. And so when you realize that and you let it back in, what happened?
the first thing I noticed, the very, very first thing right off the bat was the feeling came back in my body.
You can feel your body.
Yeah, like I stepped back into my body. I could feel my my backbone. I could feel my muscles, my arms, and then I had a solid sense of myself.
Yes.
It's like I could feel myself internally, and I just felt very solid and very grounded.
All right, now that's an important piece of my course, being solid, being internal, being internally grounded. So once you became connected, solid inside, did you notice, number one, you were comfortable
Yes.
with yourself and in public?
Mm-hmm.
And did you notice how most women wanted to gravitate towards you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it makes them feel comfortable with themselves.
When you're grounded, when you're solid, when you're connected inside, that's a great feeling. Have you ever been around someone who's anxiety?
Yes.
Does it make you a little like that?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been around someone like me that's very grounded?
Yeah.
Does it help you to become more feeling grounded?
Yep.
Does that feel good?
Yep.
Women have the same effect, guys. So a lot of guys will. Adam that flew up from London, he flew out 2 times actually to take the training, and he said, I just when I read your book, I thought that was bullshit, or maybe he saw it on a video, and he goes, it's unbelievable. You walk out in public, and people walk up to you. People want to give you stuff. People want to help you. These women make up excuses to talk to you. And I'm literally just eating dinner. I'm not looking around. I'm not doing any techniques, no openers, no lines, none of that stuff. When you saw me doing that, were you a little jealous? Or was there also a little like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah, I think it was more like a curiosity about what exactly is going on, especially after that one night at the Matrix. You remember that night?
I do remember. We went twice, didn't we?
Twice, but it was the very first night we went Halloween.
And it was it empty? No, it was packed.
It was packed.
Yes, okay. Because there was one time we went when it was really empty. So what happened? I'm drawing a blank. When we walked in, you mean?
When we walked in, and that girl at the very end, the brunette, when we were just leaving, she was like, she had her boyfriend and everything.
Oh yeah, her boyfriend. Go ahead, you tell the story.
So the story is basically we were at this club called the Matrix in San Francisco, and it was Halloween night. The club was so packed you could barely move. So we walk in there, and right off the bat, girls are trying to get his attention and stuff. Now this is one of my biggest hangups, and I think it's going to be your guys too. I'm just guessing. You don't really believe that women are that much in tune that they can pick up on your vibe like that.
Oh, they can.
But I can tell you.
But you can now too. Like
yes.
I pick up on people's vibe. It's obvious. Is it obvious now?
When you tune in, it's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
So, but back then, again, I didn't believe it.
Because you couldn't do it. Because it was a concept that you'd never you couldn't experience yourself, so you didn't think it was real.
Yep.
So go ahead.
So what happened was basically right off the bat, all these girls were trying to get his attention, which was cool to see. But towards the very end, when we were leaving, there was just possibly the best looking girl in the club.
It was over the top. Right?
Yeah. Brunette chick with her boyfriend, and she starts hitting on him while her boyfriend is right there. He's sitting right there, and towards the end, when they're leaving, she sort of like pulls away from him, but leans towards Mike.
I think at one point she walked over to me.
Did she?
Yeah, she walked over and started the conversation. So go ahead and finish your thing, but go ahead.
I think what I remember was that when everybody was just leaving, walking out the door.
Yep, I remember that.
She like literally pulled away from her boyfriend and leaned completely into you.
Yeah, I was trying to walk out and they were over here, and she like completely 100% was like, that's what it was in front. Because I think at one point she almost hugged me or grabbed me or touched me or something like that.
I don't know. I don't remember that, but
yeah. So she, I don't know. Go ahead and tell your story. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Actually, that's it. That was it.
So that was an eye opener.
Yeah.
And Adam had the same experience with me. He goes, dude, everywhere. He goes, it could be a grocery store, it could be a restaurant, it could be a club. He goes, I thought it was bullshit. I'm like, no, it's not bullshit. You just have to really work on and learn how to just open up and drop inside. And this is what I call, and you said it earlier, something about power. I call it stepping into your power. You said stepping back
into my body.
That technically is what it is, because men are outside, they're out here. What I want you to do is step back. That's a good way, because I say step inside, but it's the same direction. Instead of putting your energy out here, your awareness, you drop it inside. That's all we're doing. Now, how to do that is a bit of a challenge. Would you say that?
Yes.
But when I work you through the techniques, you get it eventually, don't you?
You will. And it'll be the most worthwhile thing you've ever done in your life. Guaranteed.
Because it changes everything. And I mean, your job, dealing with people at work. Would you say that more people treat you better because of it?
Oh yeah, people treat me differently. That was the funniest thing about this whole thing is before I used to be the invisible dude, and now I'm the guy people want to talk to. So,
Talk about the invisible dude at the bar when you're getting a drink and beer or something like that.
this was maybe a couple of years ago. We were out at a bar and
Cable car,
the cable car.
San Francisco Union Street. I believe it's Union Street.
Yeah. And then I was with Mike, and I asked the lady for a beer, and she turns around, she grabs a beer, and she turns back around to give it to me, but she's like, she can't find me. You know what I mean? And I'm standing right there. I haven't moved a single inch.
Right.
I haven't moved a single inch, and she can't even find me. And I literally felt like just standing there super invisible because everybody was moving, they're dancing all around me. And I was just standing there like, what is she looking for? I'm right here. I didn't even move an inch, man.
Right.
And that was sort of my thing with people in general. People paid very little attention to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
I'm proud of my work, by the way.
I'm proud of his work too.
Massive shift. And you know, I think I said it earlier in this video or the last video, it took me into my 30s before I got to where you were at.
Yeah.
And you're how old?
24.
24 years old. And so you've only known me for a total, I think, even with a year that we haven't seen each other for, I think, 3 years?
3 years.
2.5, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you guys can go and spend a lot of money, a lot of time with all those other therapists and coaches. There's some good ones out there. But I have a combination from energy healing, consciousness work, I'm an NLP trainer, master hypnotherapist, certified master timeline therapist, and I studied with monks for years. Did I ever take you to temple? We never went to temple, did we? No. So I used to take my clients to temple to get a blessing. My point being is I've learned some very, very interesting techniques from energy healers too. I've got one in particular that I've been going to off and on for a long time. I've done it all. I did acupuncture with the best Dr. Chen in San Francisco. He's from China. I want to say Shanghai. Which other big city? I always get them mixed up. But it doesn't matter. But find a quality coach, therapist, not someone who just made a business card. Oh, I'm a life coach. I don't even like to use that phrase. I am highly trained, lots of experience at what I do, and would you say get results?
I am the result.
He is the result.
We can build him.
We can make him better. So I think we're going to end that with this video, and we'll go on to another video. I feel like there's something we're leaving out.
Did you finish the black liquid story?
Yeah, well, the black energy, he calls it liquid, I call it energy. I think you finished it. It was basically getting him to realize like you're disconnected from yourself, and when you opened up and reconnected, your neurology turned on, and you're like, whoa, I can feel my body. You started to feel your feet and your legs, huh?
Yeah.
How many years went by? Probably since you were 5 years old?
I want to say maybe 10, 11 years old.
Yeah, so his whole life he was disconnected. Not a good feeling, huh?
No, it wasn't, man.
I know what I wanted to say. It's about how a lot of guys come to me and they think, well, it's about learning a technique, an opener, a line, and it's doing something to her. When you started to connect with yourself, it shifted, didn't it?
Yeah. But I used to have this thing where when you're like a Mr. Invisible Man and people don't pay a lot of attention to you, you want to get their attention even more. And so I used to try to get girls' attention even more, see if they're looking at me and this and that. But the more I worked with Mike and the more I was able to, connect with myself inside and become internal, it didn't really matter all that much if they were looking at me or not. Mm-hmm. It's like, if I feel good, then I feel good. And I think I said this in the last video. You're getting a girl because you want to feel good anyway, so why not just feel good?
Yeah, and I think that'll be a good way to wrap it up. So a lot of guys think, if I get the girl, then I'll feel good. It's the other way around. When you feel good, it's not even that. Did you talk about the whole thing about being okay with yourself?
Yeah.
In this video?
Yeah. In the last one I did.
When you're okay with not being perfect, when you're okay with not being whatever, not being perfect, not feeling bad, having a bad day. When you're okay with that, suddenly women start to notice you. Suddenly women start to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
So Benham's getting tired. It's freaking late here. Got to get off. So anything else you want to say?
If getting girls is good, but getting happy is even better. It's more than happiness though. I would say it's fulfillment. It's if you feel like you're missing something in your life and you wake up every day looking for it, he's got it.
Yeah.
So
We're going to leave it at that. We're both freaking tired. It's way past me. In fact, it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
yeah.
So we bumped into each other like 10 o'clock tonight. So it's like, let's do it. It's like, all right. So I think that's it for tonight. We might do something on another video. But if you want to get started, go to my website, buy a book, take the next course, Mike Kollin, MikeKollin.com. If you want to do one-on-one coaching with me, I would do it now because we are launching a huge advertisement campaign in about a week to 2 weeks. And there's another thing, I just did an interview and I'm going to upload that pretty soon. That alone is going to give me a lot of clients. So I'll see you soon. Have a good life.
And have a good night.
All right, bye, everyone.